Thank you very much. On behalf of the great Empire State and the whole family of New York, let me thank you for the great privilege of being able to address this convention. Please allow me to skip the stories and the poetry and the temptation to deal in nice but vague rhetoric. Let me instead use this valuable opportunity to deal immediately with the questions that should determine this election and that we all know are vital to the American people.
May want to know just where Bill Clinton stands and what position he's going to take on a particular issue tomorrow morning. A lot of us can't guess.
Paul, let me ask you a question. Okay? Incidentally, much of what you've said by way of criticism of the president, I think, would be dealt with if he took a position like the one I'm suggesting, and maybe he can think of a better one. I will do for education in the next 4 years what John Kennedy did for space. I'm committed to it. Education, education, education. We should be the best educated people in world history. We are not, and we have no excuse for that. A lot of things we can do won't cost money, but the information superhighways, a toll road, will make the investments the way John Kennedy did, $277 billion worth to this day, 13.8 billion. I'm a leader, education, education. That would help. But let me ask you.
Early enough.
I've lost something here. You say he's very weak substantively, and he hasn't done what he ought to have done. He should have reduced the deficit, but he did. Bush didn't, Reagan did, he did. Now, no matter how he did it, he did reduce the deficit.
Numbers.
Well, there's no arguing that he reduced the deficit.
Right.
He should have kept the interest rate down. He did. He should have created jobs. Now, some of them are lesser paying jobs than jobs we have lost, but the unemployment rate is low. He should have preserved the woman's right to choose. He should have been a champion on that. He had a very hard test. Now, a lot of people will disagree with this last veto, but on the women's issue, on abortion, he is a prince. It could be strong enough to make him a winner. He did all the big things. He should have stood up on Bosnia. He did. That wasn't easy, and he did it well enough to drag Dole along.
Well, about 200,000 deaths late.
Well, he did it a little late. That's not what you said. You said he didn't do it. He did a lot of things. Now, he does have a sense of, we're going to have to equivocate a little bit here, take tax cuts. I have been saying from the beginning, you can't afford this tax cut. It's wrong to do this tax cut. We need money for education, money for the environment, money for the infrastructure. And he did give a tax cut. Why? Because his pragmatic sense tells him, look, you'll kill the Democrats if you give the Republicans the whole tax cut issue. And so to save care, I was there. New York State has done more on the health care issue than anybody except for California on managed care. All right? I was there with Hillary. I sat in with the First Lady and the President. One basic mistake, it seems to me, and it was in rationale. It was not that he surrendered early. The way we tried to sell health care to the American people was it's compassionate to give health care to the uninsured people. And all the people who had health care says, the heck with those 37 million. I'm going to have to pay for them. If you had simply made the case to the American people, you must cover everybody because you who are insured cannot afford not to have them covered because they get sick, they go to the emergency room, and we pay for them anyway. So it's good for you, those who are covered, to find a way to cover the ones who are not. That would have made it an exercise in self-interest instead of compassion, and that, I think, might have made a difference. The struggle in America now to decide whether or not you want to go back to the first century of this country's history, to the period of primitive individualism, which they will call macho individualism. Forget this welfare, forget the public schools, let's do vouchers, let's do private schools. That's the whole direction. That's the Republican direction. You can argue about at what speed, and the idea that says, no, you have to see yourselves as interconnected and interdependent. You have to have some sense of family. You have to pool wealth. You have to pool...